The Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. 2023. Vegas won the Stanley Cup. The Minnesota Wild have not won a playoff round in a decade. It hurts to say it, it hurts to hear it. The state of hockey wants this team to advance in the worst way.
First of all, Kirill Kaprizov is going to have to go nuclear, and that means he's going to have to score 4 goals in this series. He's going to have 4 assists. He's going to have more than a point per game.
The numbers say this series is a mismatch. I guess they're experts for a reason, right? So we've got the Vegas Golden Knights at 70% to win the series. That's pretty high. It's the highest of any matchup in the Western Conference. 5 games is what we have projected.
Game number 1. And we've got 2 teams that both, at the start of the season and really all the way through, when healthy, Stanley Cup aspirations.
First round, best of 7 opens at the Fortress.
The atmosphere, as we said, tough to beat. That is what the Minnesota Wild will have to contend with tonight. A puck to the side of the net. Wraparound try, thrown in front by Johansson. Backhand, kick save made by Gustafsson.
That first period of the first game can feel like a football game where you're just running all over the place.
Well, you said it, control the motion. You got to be patient in a way, which is hard to do because the adrenaline is flowing so quickly. Each team feeling each other out. You learn as the series goes along more and more about each other.
Leans in, save Hill, the rebound ends up at the half wall. On Faber, shoots, test save made by Gustafsson.
Theodore walking in, cuts to the middle, and he's denied by Gustafsson. Puck loose on high, and Dorofeev rips it wide. Trangelo's wrist shot blocked by Faber. Hurdle picks his pocket and scores! Tomas Hertl goes upstairs for the first goal of the series.
And boy, does he put it into a small spot. There's nowhere to shoot at, and he scores.
To Kaprizov, cross ice, Boldy a shot, he scores! And Minnesota ties it.
The top line strikes, and we're deadlocked early. Nothing like playoff hockey.
Here's Theodore off the draw. Off the Dorofeev, and he scores! 5 seconds into the power play.
Howden moves in, shoots, score!
Knights have their largest lead of game 1.
Boldy has it, backhand wraparound, he scores!
Spurgeon looks to center. Eriksson Ek has it. 2 seconds to go. Towards the empty net. Just before the buzzer, Howden sends it all the way down. One way or the other, this will be a Game 1 win for the Vegas Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights able to hang on here to the 1-goal lead. They get the job done and win Game 1.
I think I'm feeling good. I'm all jacked up after watching that.
It is a terrific show, and we are set, hopefully, for a terrific show as well between the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 2 is underway.
Kaprizov picks it up for Minnesota. Ahead for Boldy. Boldy's in behind the defense. He scores!
What a pass.
And Kaprizov with that beautiful saucer pass just lands right on Boldy's stick. Quick backhand to forehand. 1-0 Minnesota.
Off the outside of the net. Puts it up in front. Score! Foligno off the feed from Hartman. Well, if you were looking for a response after Game 1 for Minnesota, you got it.
To Zuccarello. He's in alone. He scores!
A 2-on-1 Kaprizov and Boldy. Kaprizov shoots. Save made by Hill. Score! It's squeezed across the line. And it's thrown the length of the ice towards the empty net. And in! The empty net goal for the Minnesota Wild.
And with a win here tonight, the Wild know at the very least that there will be a Game 5 back here in Vegas.
And the final is 5-2 Wild.
Yeah, what an effort from Minnesota. Coming into the game, we said they need some depth scoring. They got that. Zuccarello and Foligno also add into that. It's a good road win for this Minnesota team.
Everyone say it with me. Let's play hockey!
It feels like they're ready to rock here in St. Paul tonight.
We're all fired up, aren't we?
It's fired up in this building, I'll tell you, at ice level.
So the Wild come home. After a 5-2 win in game number 2, Vegas opened up the series with a 4-2 victory. It's top line against top line. Jack Eichel against Minnesota's Joel Eriksson Ek. Sit back and enjoy game number 3.
Kaprizov circles for Minnesota. Has it up high. Looks, fires, scores!
Corral the Thrill picks up where he left off. The Wild off and running.
Want to be aggressive? You're going to have to taste what a hockey puck is if you're going to keep the play alive. Oh, I like the way you're setting the tone for that. And so
Here's Rossi. He scores!
Bench to my right, the Vegas Golden Knights bench, very quiet. I don't know what's being said on the ice, but not much on the bench right now.
They're firing on all cylinders.
Tries to reverse it, cut off Boldy, a shot, he scores! Matt Boldy! Hartman, a final chance, they score! They beat the clock! It's a power play goal! And Kirill Kaprizov is in the middle of it once again, 4-1, Minnesota!
What an atmosphere in St. Paul.
Here we go.
goaltender is still in for Vegas.
Hanifin, Wise, fires, save Gustafsson. Carlson centers, Stones redirect, is kicked off by Gustafsson. What an unbelievable stop.
Molina hits the target.
Gustafsson, when called on, time and time again, becomes the Wild's best player when he needs to be. 2 huge saves while shorthanded.
But the Wild will grab a series lead. A perfect penalty kill, empty netter by the Moose seals it. 5-2 win for the Wild. Been all about the top line for Minnesota. Matt Boldy, Kirill Kaprizov, 4 goals each in the first 3 games.
This has been the Matt Boldy show. I mean, this has been an incredible performance so far. He's playing like the powerful forward that everybody knew he was going to be. But don't forget about Eriksson Ek and obviously Kaprizov. And it's just been a dynamic line. They've outchanced, they've outplayed, and they've been the difference makers so far in this series.
Playoffs are all about adjusting and hopefully improving from game to game.
This is a big game for the Golden Knights. They're a team that knows how to rebound, and it's a great opportunity here. Win a game, now you got home ice advantage back.
Underway here in St. Paul. Mark Stone in, and a quick shot held by Gustafsson. Eichel a shot, pass in Gustafsson. This has been the matchup to watch throughout this series. Eriksson Ek line against Eichel line, and so far it's been all Minnesota. Theodore goes to Smith, a shot and a save by Gustafsson.
Coming up on 30 seconds to go on the power play. Theodore Rester scores! Shea Theodore through traffic, a power play goal.
Shea Theodore ripped it, and the power play cashes in for the VGK. The Golden Knights got a good start that they wanted.
Minnesota, if they lead after 2 guys this year, 31-0-0. That's the challenge. The crowd waiting to erupt here. We'll see if they can get them going.
Trennian with a good hit. Out front, Rossi. He scores! Zuccarello tried to leave it for Bogosian. Hartman a shot. Rebound, Foligno scores!
What a hit that is by Foligno. Man, he just dumped it down.
And you can almost feel the frustration mounting on the Vegas bench with every shift.
Dorfield, wrist shot, save Gustafsson, rebound! Hastings Hurdle, loose puck, Wall scores! Nick Wall buries it on the power play to tie the game!
A wrestling match in front of the net, and Nick banked in! Mark Stone! What a play! And the Vegas Golden Knights have the lead here with 9.5 to go.
Middleton fires, tip saved by Hill. Rebound around, they score!
Barbashev's backhand with Smith in time. What a stall! The left leg of Gustafsson fully extended keeps Vegas from taking the lead.
Holy jumping. Are you kidding me with that save?
And for the first time in this series, we will head to overtime.
Middleton flubbed the pass. It comes to Smith in front off the Middleton. Pinballs around and they score!
Ivan Barbashev puts it home! The Golden Knights are headed back to Vegas with this series all even at 2 games apiece.
Game 5 in the Western Conference playoffs with a series tied at 2. The Minnesota Wild, the Vegas Golden Knights here at the Fortress. And they are set for hockey in this building. It's always an incredible atmosphere. And this series on the ice has been every bit as Vegas entertaining as we could have hoped for so far.
The magnitude of games just goes up each and every one. Instead, the Golden Knights fought back to even it up. Now they're back at home in the Fortress. There's a balance, right? You kind of control emotion. We use that a lot, but it's certainly the case. But there's got to be a focused intensity. I think that's the best way Bruce Cassidy talked about this morning. He needs that from his group here. All 4 lines and all 60, they've relied on it all year. They need them to show up here in Game 5.
Best of 5 starting on home ice for Vegas.
At some point, the big weapons for a team have to come through.
And if you look at Eichel, all he's done in playoffs is produce. I mean, he's been an absolute stud in the big moments. But this is where they need him. Without them, they're not going to win this series. Vegas needs Eichel tonight.
And Eichel, rather than just clearing, he's going to look to create offense shorthanded. Eichel leans in, centering pass, score! Carlson, a shorty, driven to the net by Eichel for the lead.
And Minnesota answers on the power play. Every time you give a shorthanded goal, you wonder if teams can maintain that focus and take advantage of the rest of the power play. And Minnesota does. Kirill Kaprizov with the equalizer. And it's 1-1.
Out high, it's Stone with a drive, and he scores! Mark Stone with a bomb! His first of the series, and the Golden Knights lead 2-1.
The first time in this series that Minnesota trailed after the first.
It's Marc-Andre Fleury who is in the Minnesota goal to open this third period.
Not too bad when you can go to a future Hall of Famer as your relief pitcher off the bench.
Boldy moves back in, drives against Pietrangelo. He scores! What a drive by Boldy!
As Matt Boldy shown up in these playoffs. He had 1 goal in 12 career playoff games coming into this series. He now has 5 in 5 games. The tension builds the later we get. A 2-2 tie in the game, a 2-2 tie in the series.
Hartman has it for Minnesota. Hartman moves in, drives to the net, save Hill, rebound, he scores! Ryan Hartman! Oh, they're challenging for offside.
After coach's challenge, the play was offside at 119.
Wow! Well, you want to be a sports fan. How's that for a swing of emotions?
And that will end regulation. Tied at 2. We will go to overtime in game number 5. The second consecutive overtime game in this series.
Bullets are there too. He works it down. Pierce in front of it. He scores! Brett Howden wins the game, and the Golden Knights lead the series 3-2.
And now this series will go back Thursday to Minnesota with the Wild fighting for their lives.
It's been an incredibly tight series, well fought on both ends. At different times, it's been Vegas that's carried the play, the Wild have carried the play.
2 dramatic victories, back-to-back overtime wins for the VGK to put them up 3-2, and a chance to move on to round 2. And no time like the present to get it done tonight.
A win for Minnesota. They're back on a jet heading to Vegas. A loss and the season comes to an end. So it's win or stay home for Minnesota tonight.
The Minnesota Wild trying to stay alive. It's been 10 years since the Wild won a playoff series. Need a win tonight to force Game 7 back in Vegas on Saturday.
Theodore straight away. Olofsson holding. Back to Theodore again. Theodore with a wrist shot, and he scores! Jay Theodore, 3.5 minutes into Game 6 on the power play, and it's 1-0 Vegas.
Here's Boldy's got a step. Off Theodore, trying to cut in. Boldy gets a shot. Loose puck in front. Middleton following up. Stopped by Aiden Hill. Here's Hay, got a shot. Blocked away. Loose puck. Hurdle at an empty net. He backhands it wide. Great action here. Frantic at both ends.
Foligno spins, still with the puck. Got it to Hartman, a shot. He scores! Ryan Hartman! Nearly the hero of Game 5 with the equalizer in Game 6, it's 1-1. And as you get later along in these games, the pressure mounts. So every mistake now is magnified. And this great sellout crowd at the XL Energy Center will wonder if they'll get another chance to see their favorite hockey team.
Stolen a soft feed. Eichel skating into it. Eichel has a step and he scores! Jack Eichel's first goal of the series.
Jack Eichel puts Vegas on top.
How good is that pass by Mark Stone? What a play and what a goal. The two top players combining.
Theodore, wrist one through traffic, stop. Eichel had an empty net and fanned on the shot. Twice he went down to block it. Eichel could have ended the game there.
Hockey in May and June is something altogether different and a whole different level. On the 1st of May, the Golden Knights trying to punch their ticket around 2.
That shot deflected by Mark Stone out of midair. And it's a 2-goal lead for the Golden Knights.
A centering pass. Johansson hit the post. Rebound Hartman. Scores! Ryan Hartman does it again. It's 3-2. All of a sudden the momentum shift. Gone one way to the other. There's playoff hockey. You can never assume that anything's over. You got to play that final whistle. Hartman center. Kaprizov was there. Comes loose to Zuccarello. Zuccarello back to Faber. A shot. It's blocked.
So that's it. And the Golden Knights win the series in 6. They close it out in St. Paul tonight and win the series 4-2.
And that will mark the end of Marc-Andre Fleury's brilliant career as the fans saluting their Wild. Vegas will advance on.
And the Golden Knights yet again on to the second round of the playoffs.